Alright, Kill 2 and T-Days here for our last match. You'll get different commentators later in the day of Day 4 of Alliance Tournament 7. We have Laconian Syndicate versus Important Internet Spaceship League. Laconian Syndicate graciously stepped away from WoW to fight today, and probably even brought what they intended to. They have a Scimitar, 2 Brutix, 2 Harbinger, 2 Rook, and 1 Hugin.
And for the Important Internet Spaceship League, we have 2 Tengu, Nighthawk, Sleipnir, Absolution, 2 Harpies, 2 Retribution, and Anishka.
And both teams have brought a lot of ships close to zero on the beacon. The Important Internet Spaceship League, Tengus and Nighthawk out at pretty distant range, obviously because missiles. And the Laconian Syndicate, Hugin, Rook, and Scimitar all at range, while the rest of their battlecruisers are in close. So we got the go right now, and damage should come on pretty heavy as soon as these ships start shooting with everybody so close to each other.
And so far, the Laconian Syndicate first Harbinger is taking small amounts of shield damage. I would imagine that the Scimitar will jump on that pretty quickly. Unfortunately for the Internet Spaceships League, their Retribution is through armour already, and the second Retribution is in shields. So it looks like the Retribution is about to pop, and no, it's nearly there. That's gone. So we've lost the first ship, as one of the Rooks for Laconian Syndicate is now lost all of its shields and is in armour and will be dropping very shortly.
Oh, that Rook's hurting bad. He's getting reps from the Scimitar and he's down. So Laconian did lose a Rook right away, which hurts real bad. They're going to need the jamming support. And the other Retribution for an Important Internet Spaceship League just died as well. And another Assault Frigate? Jeez, I don't even know what that was. I swear I saw another explosion close into the fight there, but I don't see anything missing. So now Laconian Syndicate going to work on the Harpies, getting these frigates out of the way as soon as possible, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like the Sleipnir is running smart bombs, so he's obviously trying to clear some of the drones that are going around the place. Meanwhile, both of the Harpies, in fact, are now out of shields. One of them is out of armour and out of structure and has died. The second one is just about to go as well. So it looks like these assault frigates going down very quickly indeed. Harpy's down, Ishka is now through armour and structure has gone as well. So we now have, for Laconian Syndicate, 2 Harbingers, a Rook, a Hugin, Scimitar, and 2 Brutix playing off against the Internet Spaceships League with 2 Tengu, a Nighthawk, Sleipnir, and Absolution, and that Sleipnir is now taking damage.
Yeah, Sleipnir is going to be the next target. The Laconian Rook was down to about 5% shields, was very low, and then made a nice recovery. He's back to 40 or 50% now, and then starting to drop again. And at the same time, the Laconian Harbinger taking some pretty serious damage. Remember, these Harbingers and Brutixes will be shield tanked with the support from that Scimitar, even though usually on TQ you would see them with armor tanks. The smart bomb's still running, so drones popping. Laconian running a lot of ECM drones, Hornet ECM drones. So no doubt that Sleipnir trying to clear those off. The Sleipnir now at about 20% shields left. He's going down pretty fast, and the Rook for Laconian still hurting as well.
Yeah, the Rook is gently pulling its shields back. The Scimitar doing its job there. One of the Harbingers got some armor damage, some shield damage. Sorry, that's probably from the smart bombing that's been going on. I don't think it's been shot at specifically. The Rook now in armor for Laconian Syndicate could go down very shortly, as finally the Sleipnir goes down, leaving them with just the Absolution, Nighthawk, and 2 Tengu.
And with the Sleipnir down, the Rook may recover. He is in structure now. They went through his armor real fast as soon as he was actually totally through shields. This is Laconian Rook, but he's getting it back now with that Sleipnir dead, and the Absolution is going to be the next target for the Laconian team. The Absolution, the only ship close, the Nighthawk about 40k from the rest of the Laconian team, and the Tengu's both about 100k. So they're just shooting heavy missiles from super far away. Laconian will probably just kill these ships one by the ranges that they're at, since they have to actually move to close range. This Abso going down pretty fast. He's at about 40% armor already, and the Rook has totally recovered for Laconian, back to 70 or 80% shields.
Yeah, that Rook is now safe. The Absolution is now completely in trouble. He's got no armor left, and his structure is melting very, very fast as well. There it goes. So it looks like we now have just the 2 Tengu and Nighthawk for them, Laconian Syndicate, to chase down. Their Scimitar, however, for Laconian Syndicate is now taking some shield damage. I don't think that it's going to be getting any reps back from the... It's got any drones out? There's a few medium shield maintenance bots out now, so hopefully it'll recover enough, but it's through armor already. I think it's going to go down any second now, which will be a problem.
Yeah, I think that he's definitely going to go down. He's in structure. Maybe a real unfortunate target call for an Important Internet Spaceship League. If they would have focused on this Scimitar to begin with, instead of on those battlecruisers and on those rooks, they may have had better luck. Getting the rook out of the way, obviously good so that they can get damage out. Scimitar now at 50% structure, and there he goes. So the Scimitar down for Laconian Syndicate, leaving the rest of the Laconian team pretty vulnerable. I assume that rook will be the next thing to fall, but Laconian now on top of the Nighthawk got him down to about 40% shields, and he's not going anywhere, so he'll be going down, and then it'll be a 70 or 80k chase to get one of these Tengus next.
Yeah, the problem with these Tengus for the Laconian Syndicate is that they have the subsystem on for targeting range and sensor strength. Now obviously because the Rook requires, it's a chance-based system for jamming, the extra sensor strength on those Tengus is probably meaning that he's not getting very many jams on them, and that's probably why the Scimitar went down. The Nighthawk, however, is now in big trouble in structure and will be popping very shortly, which is going to leave the two Harbingers, Rook, Hugin, two Brutix now chasing after the two Tengu for the Internet Spaceships.
Yeah, the Nighthawk just went down. Laconian now picking up speed again. They'll be heading out towards these Tengus. The closest one is at about 60 kilometers, it looks like, from the Laconian team. And that Laconian Rook now hurting pretty bad, and no reps coming this time. So even though the damage is slowed down a lot with most of the important Internet Spaceship League DPS off the field, those Tengus most likely will be enough to finish the Rook off well before one of the Tengus goes down. That Rook now, oh, there he goes. He was hanging in there in shields for a little while, but popped as soon as he went through. He only had a little bit of structure left. So now two Brutix and two Harbs with a Hugin chasing down these two remaining Tengu, which looks like they've just caught one of them. He's now pretty close to them and now taking damage.
Yeah, it looks like the tackle on Tweak Boy for the important Internet Spaceships League. I've just seen a Brutix has just barged straight into him there. So he's got a Brutix at point blank range, which is not a pleasant place for it to be, doing all of its damage with medium guns, which, you know, obviously against a cruiser hull, which is what the Tech 3 is, it's doing its full damage quite happily. Shigsy there in the Laconian Hugin taking shield damage. He's into armor now, so we're probably going to lose him next. One of the Brutix has also got some damage on shields as the Hugin goes down. So we have the two Harbingers and two Brutix now sitting on top of one of the Tengu. That Tengu now with pretty much no shield left.
Yeah, he is going to go down. These Tengu are hard to break, though. They've gone to work already on one of the Laconian Brutix, who's already getting close to half shields. And like I said, shield tank, so without Scimitar there goes that Tengu. Only one Tengu left now. It's pretty unlikely he'll get through this Brutix. The Brutix still has half its shields left. But they do have a good 80 or 90k to cover before they get caught up to this Tengu, so maybe the Brutix will get finished off. I really think this might have been a really unfortunate target call, or, you know, ill-advised. I mean, maybe not all about fortune, but if they would have shot that Scimitar to begin with, this Laconian team might have crumbled pretty fast. I don't know if the Rooks would have had enough jamming power to hold off all the DPS long enough to keep that Scimitar alive, even when all of the Laconian teams were there to support it. So anyway, this Brutix going down for sure. He's in deep armor, and they're closing in on the Tengu, but still a good 50k to go, and the Brutix is entering structure now. So 3 battlecruisers after this Brutix goes down against 1 Tengu left for important Internet Spaceship League.
Yeah, the Tengu is currently going around between 700 and 1,000 meters per second. The battle cruisers are all pulling in at about 1,000 to 1,200 meters per second, as unfortunately the Brutix explodes in far more meters per second, leaving bits all over the field. So we have the 2 Harbingers and Brutix left for Laconian Syndicate, trying to chase down this Tengu, who is trying to keep range from them, and if he's not careful, he might go out of range of the arena.
Yeah, you can run away here, obviously, but there's a limit to how far, and if he crashes into the edge of the arena, he gets insta-popped by our lovely Judge Claw. So they've caught him now, it looks like. I don't know if the Harb will have enough slots to actually put tackle on the Tengu. Without the Hugin there, they might have been hoping he would take care of all the webbing. But they are on top of him. He's starting to take damage. Tengu now at about half shields. Looks like there might even be less tank on this one than the last one. But at the same time, Laconian Harb at about 40% shields and the Brutix at about 60% shields of what's remaining for the Laconian team.
It looks like the Tengu is now webbed, so they do have tackle on some of these battle cruisers. He's now not able to get away and is taking quite a bit of damage. They switch fire to one of the Harbingers. I don't think it's going to be enough though, because he has, this is the guy Tengu for the Internet Spaceships League, he has about 30% shield left. The Harbinger for Laconian Syndicate that's been primaried currently has, well, his armor's going down now. Doesn't look like he's got any armor buffer there, it was all shield buffer. So he's probably going to drop before this Tengu does, but I would say that it's very likely now that the Harbinger and Brutix will be able to finish off this Tengu before he takes out a second one.
Yeah, this Harb now, structure definitely going to go down, I think, before the Tengu does. Volley's coming in quick from the Tengu and no tank left on the Harb, but it did its job. Really what it needed to do was get that web on the Tengu, and I think that's why the Tengu switched targets. It was trying to get the web off it so it could keep moving. There goes the Harb now. You know, it actually might have gotten the web off it before the rest of the Laconian team is close enough to tackle. There's just a Brutix and a Harb left, and they don't have a web. So as the Tengu, oh, there's a web. They just got it. So now he will probably go down as these guys close in. He's at about 15% shields, kind of at peak recharge, while the Brutix is going down pretty fast. He's at about 25% shields. This is actually getting pretty exciting.
Yeah, the Brutix not really in range at the moment, as far as I can see from here. Obviously, if he can't get on top of this Tengu to put his blaster damage in, he's closed up now. It's going to be a race to see if he can get some volleys in and push past the peak recharge of that Tengu. Tengu now with about 15%. He's gone past peak recharge. The Brutix in half armor going down into structure. And this is very, very close, because I don't think the Harbinger on its own is going to be enough DPS to drop this Tengu.
Yeah, they really need to get the Tengu into armor before this Brutix goes down, but the Brutix is in structure. I don't know if he's really going to last long enough. That Tengu just has no shields left. You can hardly see a pixel's worth of shields left. But the Brutix is now deep structure, 40% structure, each volley taking off a good 20% or so. For some reason, the Laconian Harbinger is still shooting Scorch ammo, still a little bit at range between him and the Tengu. The other Harbinger had switched to Navy multi-frequency. There goes the Brutix. As that Tengu is now actually taking armor damage. He has no shields left, so and he is webbed still, so that Harb definitely close enough to web, piloted by Vaden Kale, and he's taking shield damage pretty quick. This is extremely close. Damage is slowed down significantly on the Tengu as the Harb switched crystals. He's shooting a Navy multi-frequency now, but only 40% shields left or so on that Harb.
Yeah, and he was buffer tanked like his colleague there. He's going to probably fall before this Tengu does. So the Tengu here, oh no, Tengu's now taken a chunk of armor damage. It's very, very close. The peak recharge at the moment on the Harbinger for the shield buffer, that obviously because of the logistics earlier, and the Tengu in half armor still. And now the Harbinger is about to drop into armor as well.
Oh my god.
Run, Tengu, run!
Wow, you're really awesome, Rias. The Tengu just broke free of web and got his micro warp on. I think the Harb probably capped out. I think that's why the damage was a bit sporadic. He's been running around this field chasing the missile ships the whole match, and the Tengu now has 20% armor, but he's still shooting volleys while the Harb really has nothing going for him. The Tengu got one micro warp click and got out to range, and now this Harb in structure with the Tengu still holding in armor, taking a volley now and then.
It's very, very close, but I think the Harby is going to fall first. He has about 15% structure left, and he's down. So the important Internet Spaceships League win the match with a Tengu in 80% structure. And with that, we'll hand it back to Soundwave.